Now let's crochet the lotus. The lotus needs to be crocheted with separated strands. I'll demonstrate using thick yarn here. When crocheting, it's divided into upper and lower layers. First, crochet each layer separately, then add wire to the lower layer, and connect it with the pistil. Let's start with the upper layer. Begin with an adjustable magic ring. Pull tight. Then make 2 chain stitches. Work a double crochet into this chain space. Yarn over, pass through the stitch, bring the yarn forward, yarn over and pass through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over again, and pass through the remaining 2 loops. This completes 1 double crochet stitch. After finishing, make 1 chain stitch. Then turn your work and make 1 slip stitch into the back bump of this chain stitch. This is the back bump of that chain stitch we just made. This strand here is the back bump. Work 1 slip stitch on this back bump. Then continue by working 1 double crochet into the same chain space. After completing it, make 2 chain stitches. Work a slip stitch into the chain space. This forms 1 petal. Repeat this process to make 5 petals total in this large chain space. Let me demonstrate another group. Double crochet. Chain 1. Then go back and work 1 slip stitch. Next, 1 double crochet. Two chain stitches. Slip stitch once. This forms the second petal. First, complete these 5 petals. Finish these 5 petals. Chain 1, stretch the loop. Then tighten this large loop. Leave a yarn tail here for weaving in, then cut the yarn directly. Next, we'll bring all the tails to the wrong side. First, thread through a few stitches. Then bring the yarn over. Pull tight. The starting tail of the cast-on is the same. After weaving it in, cut it directly. The top layer is now finished. Now let's work on the bottom layer. Also start with an adjustable magic ring. Make a chain stitch. Then work 6 single crochets into the starting loop. After completing, tighten the loop. Join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch. Pull tight. Then work the next round. First, make 3 chain stitches. Then in the same stitch loop, work 1 treble crochet. Yarn over twice. Then pass through the same stitch loop. Pull the yarn through. First, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Then yarn over again, and pull through the next 2 loops. Finally, yarn over again, and pull through the last 2 loops. That completes 1 treble crochet stitch. After finishing, make 1 chain stitch. Just like the previous layer, join with a slip stitch into the top of the next stitch. Then, work another treble crochet into the same stitch. Then make 3 chain stitches. And into the same stitch, work 1 slip stitch. After finishing, work 1 slip stitch into the next stitch. Then repeat the same steps as before. Work 1 petal. After completing the second petal, slip stitch into the next stitch. Start working the third petal. This round is made up of 6 petals in total, please complete them on your own. After completing all 6 petals, chain 1 stitch. Just like before, leave a long yarn tail, then cut the yarn. Hide the final yarn tail, and the starting yarn tail to the wrong side. The method is the same as before, so hide it first. After weaving in the ends, take a piece of wire of corresponding length. Thread one end through the position under any petal. Then thread the other end through the opposite position. Adjust it from the bottom to make both sides about the same length. Then set it aside for now. Pay attention, don't block the middle position at this time. Next, connect it with the upper layer using the pistol. Take a piece of yellow yarn. Then this is the right side of the upper layer. Pass through here. And this is the right side of the lower layer. Go through the exact middle of the lower layer at the same time. Leave a small yarn tail outside, don't pull it all the way through. Up to this point. You can find the stitch right behind the first round of single crochets. Thread through it. Mindful to pinch this part on top, don't pull it along accidentally. Also, don't wrap the wire into it. Then go back up through the middle. After coming back up, go through again. Don't pull it all the way tight at this point. Just like how we started earlier. Leave a small loop on top. Then thread through the stitch right behind the neighboring single crochet. This helps secure it in place. Be careful not to pull the top loop back down. Then repeat the same action as before. Repeat 3 to 4 times. After repeating a few times on top, on the last repeat, secure it well, and go back up. Don't go through again after that. Then cut the yarn right here. This part can all be cut off. Then we'll separate these few strands of yarn here. Once separated, trim them to the same length. And the pistil is done, connecting both the top and bottom layers together. Then twist the wire on both sides toward each other. And wrap it with green yarn. One lotus flower is done. This is a lotus flower I crocheted using lace yarn. Now, we need to wrap green yarn around the stem part below. You can use the leftover strands from the green yarn we separated earlier for the leaves. First, gently pinch this part with the wire. Then take a piece of green yarn, about 3 times the length of this part. Take a piece of green yarn at this length. Apply a little glue at this position first. Then leave a little of this yarn. Leave about enough to wrap around this small section completely. The length of the section that was left empty before applying glue. Then pinch it. Spread out the remaining strands. First, wrap it around the glued position to secure it. Secure it well here first. Then leave the top part for now, start rolling from the bottom. Roll it all the way to the end. Remember to apply some glue in the middle part as you wrap for securing. After wrapping to the end, bend it over. Then apply a bit more glue, press both sides together, and wrap it up. Once wrapped, cut off the excess yarn tails, and tidy them up. This end part is now settled. Then we go back to the start, apply glue on this section. And use the remaining yarn to wrap around the top part as well. After wrapping it up nicely, clean up those excess yarn tails slightly too. Then tidy up the shape. The bottom is the same as the lotus leaf, just bend it over in the end. Apply some glue and attach it to the box lid. This way, one lotus flower is done. Now let's crochet the bud. The crochet method for the bud is exactly the same as the upper part of the lotus. The only difference is that the upper part of the lotus has 5 petals, while the bud has 3. These are the 3 petals I've already crocheted, and the yarn loop has already been closed. Because the bud needs to be folded together like this in the end. The yarn tail from the final cut needs to be hidden on the front side, not the back. It's the same as other weaving in methods. Just thread it through a few stitches, then pull the tail through. Then just cut off the yarn tail. Don't cut the starting yarn tail yet. Thread the yarn through the yarn needle. Then pass it from the back to the front. After threading through, you can see the slip stitch at the top of each petal. We pick up the half stitch that's closest to us. Thread through. Same on this side. Go through each petal once. Finally, thread back to the first one. This connects the tops of the 3 petals, then pull it slightly to close it up. This way the bud is closed, then thread the yarn tail back inside. Thread it back. Pay attention not to pull too tight here, don't make it. Just pull slightly. That's how a bud is made. Then we need to attach a wire underneath it. And wrap the wire with green yarn to create the stem below. This is a bud I made using lace yarn. Then we need to take a piece of wire of appropriate length, and fold it in half. Then thread this end through the bottom of the bud as well. Just thread it in a little, no need to go too deep. Next, cut a piece of green yarn, about 3 times the length of this wire. And wrap it around the wire just like we did with the green stem part of the lotus flower. The method is exactly the same as with the lotus, so I won't demonstrate it again. The only difference is that here, we also need to weave in the pink yarn at the same time. Like this, the pink yarn and the wire are wrapped together inside the green yarn. Since this is just for weaving in the yarn tail, there's no need to wrap the whole section. After wrapping a few rounds, we can set it aside for now, then continue wrapping the wire, and finally cut it off. Once both ends are settled. The pink yarn can also be cut off right here. This completes the bud, and the bottom is still folded up the same way. Then later, apply some glue right here, and stick it onto the lid of the box. Just tidy up the top part and it's done. Now let's crochet the lotus leaf, which comes in large and small sizes. For the small leaf, there's no need to separate the strands, so I'll demonstrate directly using lace thread. Begin with an adjustable magic ring. Then chain 2. These 2 chains don't count as a stitch. Then, work 12 double crochets in the same hole. Yarn over. Pull through, bring the yarn forward, then yarn over, and go through the first 2 loops. Yarn over again, and go through the remaining 2 loops. That completes 1 double crochet stitch. A total of 12 double crochets are worked. After completing the 12 double crochets, first enlarge the loop, then close the magic ring loop. Then slip stitch into the stitch of the first double crochet. This is the stitch of the first double crochet. The first 2 chains don't count as a stitch. Ignore the turning chain of the first double crochet. Pull tight. Then enlarge the loop. Leave a tail for weaving in, then cut the yarn. Tighten the center part. Tidy it up a bit. Then weave in the yarn tail. The starting yarn tail is woven into the back side. Follow the texture and weave through a few stitches. That's all. Finally, pull tight this last tail. Go back through the stitch where the slip stitch was made earlier, and pull it to the back. Then, just like before, thread it into the next round below. You can weave in a few more stitches. Then tidy it up. Smooth it out. Then just cut off the yarn tail. This little lotus leaf is now completed. Next, we'll crochet the large lotus leaf. The crochet method is the same, but it can be made with or without wire, and with or without separating the strands. These details are indicated on the chart. Just follow the pattern chart. I'll demonstrate the method using wire. The first round of the large lotus leaf is crocheted exactly the same as the small one. This is the small lotus leaf I've already completed. After joining with a slip stitch, simply pull the loop long and cut the yarn. For the large lotus leaf, after joining with a slip stitch, we'll start the second round. First, make 2 chain stitches as the turning chain, which does not count as a stitch. Then work a double crochet increase in the first stitch. Start by yarn over. Pull through the stitch, and at this point, insert the wire at the same time. Take a piece of wire of the appropriate length, and place it over the hook. Then continue crocheting the double crochet. This way, the wire is incorporated into the stitch. Next, work another double crochet in the same spot. Crocheting 2 double crochets in 1 stitch is a double crochet increase. The pattern for this round is to work a double crochet increase in every stitch, while also incorporating the wire into each stitch. Follow this pattern and crochet towards this side. After completing the last single crochet, join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet stitch to finish the round. Before making the slip stitch, don't place the yarn behind the wire. Bring it to the front instead, and gently press the wire down a bit. Then make the slip stitch and pull tight. Finally, tidy up the wire so both sides are roughly the same length. Once it's tidy, cut the yarn about 3 times the length of the wire. I've already trimmed mine here. After cutting the yarn, just pull the tail through. Then, using the same method as with the small, weave the starting yarn tail into the back of the first round. Once the starting yarn tail is secured, let's deal with the ending tail from the cut yarn. First, thread it through the stitch where the slip stitch was made, bringing it to the back. Then go through the edge area here. Bring it through to near the wire. Then wrap this yarn around the wire. When wrapping, keep in mind that this yarn has 8 strands. Let's separate the strands and then wrap them upwards together. This way it will lie flatter and smoother when wrapped. First, add a bit of glue to the end of the wire. After applying some glue here, wrap the green yarn upwards. Try to wrap it as evenly as possible. Keep wrapping all the way up to the middle of the tail. Here, you can wrap a few more rounds, and apply a little more glue. To help secure it in place, wrap it over first. When you reach the very end, bend it over. And bend it to this side. Then add a bit more glue to this section. Continue wrapping, and these two sides will be wrapped together. At the same time, the glue you added earlier will help secure it. Once all the exposed wire is wrapped in, wrap a few more rounds and then finish. Then cut off the excess yarn. After trimming the yarn ends, tidy it up a bit. This entire lily leaf is done. Then, when ready, press this part toward the center. And it becomes a proper looking lily leaf. Since there's wire added on the top, you can spread it out. Or shape it into various forms, like it's being blown by wind. All of these can be done according to your own preference. When you're ready to attach it to the box lid, just bend this part over. This oval-shaped cross section. Later on, just apply glue underneath here. And then stick it onto the box lid. This is the lily leaf with wire added. The crocheting method for the lily leaf without wire is exactly the same, just without adding the wire inside. Finally, just finish off with a slip stitch. Leave a little bit of yarn, and hide the end on the wrong side. You don't need to leave such a long tail, like when you were using wire. That's all for the lily leaf. Now let's move on to crocheting the lotus pod. Just like before, start with a magic ring. Then make 2 chain stitches as the turning chain, and this turning chain does not count as a stitch. Work 8 half double crochets into the starting loop, yarn over, pull through, then bring the yarn through again. At this point, you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Pull through all 3 loops one by one. That completes 1 half double crochet, and you'll make a total of 8. After finishing, stretch the loop slightly and tighten the starting loop. Then, join with a slip stitch to the first half double crochet stitch. Tighten it up. Next, we'll start the second round by making 1 chain stitch as the starting chain. Then, pick up the back loop only of the stitches from the previous round. This V-shaped stitch has 2 halves, the front loop is the one closer to you, and the back loop is the one farther away. Work a single crochet into the back loop. First, insert the hook through the back loop. Then bring the yarn over. Work a single crochet. Do the same for the next stitch beside it. This entire round consists of working a single crochet into the back loop of every stitch. Pull it through first. After completing the last single crochet, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round. Tighten it up. Then gently tidy it out. We want the right side facing out, but currently it's the wrong side, so turn it over. You can leave the starting yarn tail for now, we'll weave it in later. Once it's tidy, move on to the next round. Now start the third round, which involves working regular single crochet decreases. Begin with a chain stitch, then pass through the first stitch as usual. Bring the yarn over, then pass through the next adjacent stitch, and bring the yarn over again. Yarn over once more and draw through all 3 loops on the hook. That completes 1 regular single crochet decrease. Continue working single crochet decreases like this. Keep going until you finish the round. After completing the last decrease, join with a slip stitch to the first decrease stitch of the round. Also be mindful not to catch the starting yarn tail while joining. Then pull it tight after crocheting over. Here, you can make a chain stitch. Then set it aside for now. Tuck the starting yarn tail through this small hole. Once the starting yarn tail is tucked in, give it a little tidy. The lotus pod is finished, so set it aside. Take a piece of wire of the corresponding length. Fold it in half. Then cut the yarn about 3 times the length of the folded wire. Next, we need to attach the wire to the bottom. Then wrap it around a bit. We'll use this end of the wire. Insert it into the hole at the end from earlier. You don't need to push it all the way through, just insert a little bit. Once it's inserted, we need to wrap the thread around the bottom part. First, apply a bit of glue here. After the glue is applied, first loosen up the thread. Wrap it on. And secure it in place. Then tuck the excess part on top inside. Next, just like with a lotus leaf, keep wrapping downward until you reach the end. Don't forget to add a bit of glue in the middle to secure it. When you get to the bottom, just like with the lotus leaf, bend it upward. After bending it up, continue wrapping. Wrap both sides together around this area and add some glue. Then wrap until the end, cut the yarn and tidy it up. I won't repeat the demonstration for this part, so please complete it on your own. That completes the lotus pod part. Finally, bend the bottom circular part and attach it to the lid using the cross section. You can shape it according to your own preference. Slightly drooping or standing upright both work. After finishing all the crochet accessories, they need to be attached to the top of the lid. Here, we'll start by securing these three first. This is the opening position. The whole decoration should face directly toward the opening. Then, on its left side, secure these three pieces first. Pay attention to the direction of the bottom part. Secure these three pieces first. Place this flat lily pad piece on top. When attaching it to these three securing spots, keep measuring and pushing the lily pad over slightly to check the size. In the end, all the directions should face the same way, because the lily pad needs to cover it. The size of the space left should be just right for this lily pad. Once this side is secured, attach the lotus pod and the other lily pad. The position is roughly here. The lily pads are at different heights, creating a varied, staggered look. You can adjust their height using the length of the wire below. Once these two are secured, attach two more flat lily pads. First, add a small flat lily pad here. Then, attach a lotus flower next to this lily pad. After securing it, glue a large lily pad on top at this spot. Once this lily pad is glued in place, attach a small lily pad in the middle between the two lily pads beside it. Then finally, we'll handle the last two. On this side, start by positioning a large lily pad to check the placement. Once the position is set, attach those two pieces. And after they're secured, glue the large lily pad on top. Tie this part securely. Then add two small lily pads on the side and you're done. This is what the final piece looks like. That's all for the explanation of this design.